Title: Accept My Friend or Lose Me. Ethan never imagined that love could feel like standing on a cliff, beautiful when you look at the horizon, terrifying when you look down. But that morning, as he sat alone in the quiet dining room, PLS subscribe my channel, help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Room, staring at the cold cup of coffee on the table. He realized the fall had already begun. The clock struck 7:14 a.m. when Mia walked in. Her hair was tied effortlessly, her perfume light, her face strangely calm. Too calm. Ethan knew that expression. It was the same one she wore when she had made up. Her mind about something, unyielding, almost frightening in its certainty. She placed a white envelope on the table. But what shook him wasn't the envelope. It was her smile. A smile that did not belong to a woman about to destroy someone's life. A smile that looked like she had already moved on. "Ethan," she said softly, "we need to talk." His heartbeat stumbled. He recognized that tone too. A tone used during endings. "What is that?" Ethan asked, nodding toward the envelope. "Divorce papers," she answered, as casually as someone saying good morning. Something in him cracked, silently, like thin glass under weight. "Mia," he whispered. "What? Why?" Instead of answering, she pulled out a chair across from him and sat gracefully, like she had practiced this conversation in front of a mirror. She crossed her legs, leaned back, and said words that would haunt him forever. "Accept my male friend into our life, or we'll break up." Ethan blinked. "Your male friend?" Her smile deepened. Liam. A chill ran through his bones. Liam. The name had been echoing in their house for months. Late-night calls, secretive smiles, sudden weekend trips for work. A new perfume, a new wardrobe, a new Mia. He had noticed everything, but said nothing, because he loved her more than he loved himself. "Mia," Ethan said carefully, "I told you before. I'm uncomfortable with him. He's always around. He messages you at 1 a.m. You meet him alone, you hide things from me, and—" "That's why," she interrupted sharply. "I want you to accept him. To accept that he is a part of my life now. I'm not removing him." His throat tightened. "And if I don't?" She tapped the divorce papers lightly with her manicured nails. "This is the alternative." He stared at her in disbelief. "You're choosing him over us?" "No," she said. "You are choosing jealousy over trust." The words stung like acid. He wanted to scream that he wasn't jealous. He was scared. Scared of losing her. Scared of losing their 7-year marriage. Scared of the man who had slowly become a shadow between them. But Mia wasn't waiting for explanations. She stood and walked toward the living room, heels clicking softly on the hardwood floor. Ethan followed her like someone chasing a fading dream. She opened the curtains. Sunlight burst into the room, bright and merciless. "You know," she said, not turning back, "Liam understands me. We talk about things you never cared about." Ethan's heart twisted. "I cared," he said quietly. "You stopped sharing." Finally, she turned around. Her eyes were cold. "Maybe you weren't enough to share with." That sentence alone felt like a knife, slow and deliberate. He took a step back. "Mia, how long has this been happening?" She looked out the window. "Months." "Are you in love with him?" Her jaw tightened. She didn't answer. And silence. Silence was worse than confession. "Why are you doing this?" Ethan asked, voice breaking despite him trying to hold it together. "Because," she said simply, "I don't want to hide anymore. I want you to understand that Liam will be in my life. I want an open marriage." Ethan felt sick. "Mia, this is betrayal. This is freedom," she said. "For you," he whispered. "What about me? What about the vows we made? What about us?" She crossed her arms. "We won't work unless you accept who I am now." "But you promised me forever," he said softly. "And you promised me space," she countered. He closed his eyes. "Space doesn't mean another man in our marriage." "You're dramatic," she muttered. "It's not like that." "Then how is it?" he demanded, finally raising his voice. Her lips curved into a strange, triumphant smile. "He's my soulmate." Ethan staggered backward. She didn't flinch. "You have to accept that he will always be here," she continued. "We might travel together, work together, spend weekends together, but I come home to you. What's the problem?" "You share your heart with him," Ethan whispered. "You share your body with him." Mia said nothing. "Mia," his voice trembled. "Are you already involved with him?" She looked away. Her silence was louder than any confession. Finally, she said, "We're adults. Ethan, don't ask questions you're not ready to hear answers to." His legs felt weak. "Why didn't you come to me?" he whispered. Why didn't you ask me to fix things? We could have talked. We could have repaired us. She shrugged. Liam made me feel something new. And I don't? He asked. She paused, and for a moment he saw hesitation, soft, fragile. But it vanished instantly. You feel old, she said. Predictable, safe. Safe is not bad, he replied, voice cracking. For me it is, she whispered. He felt tears burning behind his eyes, but he refused to let them fall. Not in front of her, not like this. So, he said quietly, this whole conversation is just to force me to accept him? Not force, she corrected. Give you a choice. A choice between losing you or losing my dignity. A choice, she repeated sternly. Ethan turned away, hurt, broken, lost. He walked into the bedroom they once shared. Her clothes still smelled like lavender. Her pictures still smiled from the shelves. The bed still held the warmth of her side. How could she do this? He sat down slowly, head in his hands. He could hear Mia moving around. The house, opening drawers, packing a few bags, humming to herself as if she hadn't just shattered him. Minutes later, he felt her presence behind him. She placed a hand on his shoulder. Ethan, she said softly, don't make this difficult. Just accept it. People evolve. Relationships evolve. He looked up, eyes shining with unshed tears. Does evolving mean replacing your husband? She sighed. Stop acting like a victim. I am one, he whispered. Mia stepped back and crossed her arms again. Liam will be here later. We're going to talk together. Ethan felt his entire world tilt. What do you mean, here? He wants to help you understand this new dynamic. Ethan stared at her. You're bringing him to our house? Why not? She said casually. You'll have to get used to him. Ethan stood up abruptly. Mia, this is cruel. No, she said calmly. This is honesty. He shook his head. This is emotional torture. She rolled her eyes. You're overreacting. He walked past her, unable to breathe. The house felt foreign, unfamiliar, like a place he didn't belong anymore. She followed him to the hallway. Think about it, she said softly. I don't want to lose you. But I won't lose Liam either. He turned toward her, finally letting a tear escape. If you loved me, he whispered, you wouldn't ask me to do this. She looked at him, calm, firm, distant. This is love, she said. Love doesn't cage the other person. And what about my love? Ethan asked. Do I deserve nothing? She didn't answer. He exhaled shakily and looked at the divorce papers still lying on the dining table. The ink was fresh. The decision was real. Just tell me one thing, he said quietly. If I sign those papers today, will you be happier? Her silence filled the house. After what felt like forever, she said, yes. Ethan felt the final thread snap inside him. He walked to their front door, needing air, needing space, needing anything except this suffocating pain. As he stepped outside, he heard Mia say behind him, you have until tonight to decide. Either accept him or accept the end. The door clicked shut, and Ethan finally let the tears fall. The woman he had loved for 7 years had just chosen another man, and he had no idea how to survive the night. Accept my friend or lose me. Ethan didn't remember how long he walked. The city felt louder, colder, and heavier than usual, as if the world suddenly sensed his breaking. Cars rushed past him, people moved in hurried steps, conversations buzzed around him, but everything felt distant, numb, like he was floating outside his own body. He ended up at a small park a few blocks away, a place where he and Mia once spent Sunday afternoons, leaning against each other, laughing about nothing, imagining a future that now seemed like a lie. He sat on a cold metal bench. His fingers trembled. His chest felt tight, as if each breath had to force its way out. 7 years, he whispered to himself. 7 years and I wasn't enough. For a moment he closed his eyes and tried to rewind their life together. The day he proposed to her at the lakeside. The way she cried when he bought her their first apartment. The way she slept with her head on his chest every night. The promises she made on their wedding day. I will choose you, always you. He had believed her, every word. Now those same words felt like dust in his hands. His phone buzzed. A message from Mia. Come home by 8. We need to talk with Liam. A cold shiver crawled up his spine. She wasn't giving him time to heal. She wasn't giving him a chance to breathe. She was dragging him toward the cliff she had already jumped from. Ethan didn't reply. He stared at the message until the letters blurred. His emotions felt knotted. Anger, heartbreak, confusion, disbelief, betrayal, all pressing against him at once. Why him? Ethan whispered. What does he have that I don't? He knew the answer. Confidence, charm, excitement. Everything Mia claimed she wanted now. But did she ever ask what he wanted? He rubbed his palms against his eyes. His head throbbed. His heart hurt. His life felt like it was collapsing all at once. He didn't know how long he sat there before he felt a vibration again. Another text, this time from an unknown number. Ethan, it's Liam. Looking forward to tonight. Let's keep things calm. Ethan's jaw clenched so tight his teeth hurt. Liam, messaging him, as if he had any right, as if he was doing Ethan a favor. Ethan wanted to throw the phone, but he didn't. Instead, he stood, wiped his face, and began walking again, not toward home, but through the city, trying to make sense of a senseless situation. Hours passed. By the time he returned to the apartment, the sky had grown darker, clouds heavy like rain waiting to fall. When he opened the door, he found Mia in the living room talking to someone. Not just talking, laughing. And there he was, Liam. Tall, handsome, confident, wearing an expensive jacket as if he belonged in their home. He sat comfortably on Ethan's couch, legs crossed, smiling like a man who knew he had already won. Mia noticed Ethan first. There you are, she said calmly. As usual, late. He didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on Liam. Liam stood up with a polite but smug smile. Ethan, he said, extending a hand. Good to finally meet properly. Ethan didn't shake it. He stared at the outstretched hand, then at Liam's eyes. Liam slowly lowered his hand. The smile remained, but something cold flashed underneath. Mia stepped between them slightly, as if protecting Liam. Can we sit? She asked. Ethan wanted to say no. He wanted to throw them both out. But he swallowed the fire burning in his chest and nodded stiffly. They all sat. Liam sat comfortably next to Mia, their shoulders almost touching. Ethan sat opposite them, alone, his hands clenched together. Liam leaned back, crossing his arms casually. I know you're upset, he said. And I understand. This is new for you. Ethan let out a humorless laugh. New? You're talking like I agreed to this. Mia sighed. Please don't start. No, Ethan said sharply. Let me talk. Liam raised a hand, as if calming a meeting. Ethan, listen. Mia and I share a connection. We work well together, we understand each other, and we're happy. But she doesn't want to leave you. Ethan stared at him, stunned. You're talking about my marriage as if you're part of it. Liam didn't blink. I am. Ethan felt something in his chest snap. Mia placed her hand on Liam's knee. Casually, comfortably. Ethan's breath caught. Mia! His voice cracked. Please don't. She pulled her hand back, but slowly, as if reluctantly. Liam continued. We want transparency. No lies. No secrets. Mia wants freedom and emotional honesty. I want her to be happy. And you want to keep her. Ethan clenched his fists. You think you know what I want? Liam looked him in the eye. You want her enough to consider this. Ethan felt heat rising in his chest. You're wrong. No, Liam said with a calm, superior tone. I'm not. Ethan wanted to throw him out. He wanted to scream. He wanted to push the man who stole his wife's heart. But he looked at Mia, and Mia looked away. That hurt more than any insult. Finally, Ethan spoke, voice low, trembling. Mia, do you love him? The room froze. Liam turned to her with a soft smile, ready for the answer he already knew. Mia opened her mouth, hesitated, closed her eyes. Yes, she whispered. Ethan's heart shattered so violently he felt it physically. A deep stabbing pain in his chest, like something essential had been torn out. Liam's smile widened, eyes shining with satisfaction. Ethan swallowed hard. And do you love me? Mia's eyes softened, but not enough. I care about you, she said. Words, her silence, her indifference, the way she didn't run after him, the way Liam comforted her. It all replayed again and again like a cruel movie. Around midnight, his phone buzzed. He didn't want to look, but he did. A message from Mia. Please come back. We need to talk tomorrow. Another one arrived seconds later. I didn't want to hurt you. And then, but I can't lose him either. Ethan turned the phone face down. His heart felt tired, bruised, torn. He fell asleep on the couch, clutching a pillow the way he once held Mia. The next morning, rain tapped softly against the windows. The city felt quieter, gentler, as if nature knew something inside him had shattered. Ethan sat on the floor, leaning against the wall, staring at nothing. He loved Mia. He always would, but love had become a battlefield, one he could no longer survive. At 9:03 a.m. the phone rang. Mia, he let it ring, and ring, and ring. Finally, a message popped up. Are you really going to lose me over one compromise? Ethan's eyes filled with tears. One compromise? Let another man share his wife's heart? Share her body? Share her life? It wasn't a compromise. It was a burial of his dignity, his peace, his love. He typed a long message, deleted it, typed again, deleted it again. Finally, he wrote, "I didn't leave you, Mia. You left us long ago." He didn't send it, not yet. Instead, he put the phone aside and walked to the small balcony. The air was cold, fresh, honest. For the first time in months, he felt like he could breathe. A knock at the door. Around noon, someone knocked. He froze. Then came her voice. "Ethan, please open the door." His heart twisted painfully. He opened the door a little. Mia stood there with swollen eyes, messy hair, no makeup. The Mia he once loved so deeply. She stepped closer. "Ethan, please, don't abandon us." "Us?" he repeated painfully. "You and him?" She closed her eyes. "Don't say it like that." "How else should I say it?" Ethan asked, voice trembling. "You asked me to share you. You asked me to give you away piece by piece." She wiped tears from her cheeks. "I didn't want to lose you." She wiped tears from her cheeks. "I didn't want to lose you." "But you didn't mind losing us," he whispered. She looked broken for the first time in months. "Can we fix this?" she asked, voice cracking. "I'll try to keep some distance. I'll set boundaries. I don't want you to go." Ethan shook his head gently. "This isn't about boundaries, Mia. It's about choices." He took a breath that felt like lifting a mountain. "You chose him." "No," she whispered quickly. "I chose freedom." "And I choose peace," Ethan said softly. Mia stepped back like the words had punched her. "Are you saying it's over?" she whispered. He looked at her with all the love he still carried, and all the pain she caused. "I'm saying," Ethan whispered, "that I won't stay where I'm no longer the only one." She broke. Tears streamed down her face uncontrollably. "I never wanted this. I just wanted more openness, more space, more than me," Ethan finished quietly. Silence. Heavy. True. Mia collapsed into a chair, weeping. "Ethan, please, don't leave me." He knelt down in front of her, gently lifting her chin. "I'm not leaving you," he said softly. "You let go first." Those words destroyed her. After a long time, when she finally calmed, she whispered, "Should I send the papers?" Ethan hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Yes." Mia cried again, burying her face in her hands. He stood, stepped away, and this time, she didn't stop him. She walked to the door silently, turned the knob and whispered, "I hope one day you'll forgive me." Ethan didn't respond. He couldn't. She left. And when the door closed behind her, he exhaled a breath he had been holding for months. A breath of freedom. A breath of pain. A breath of healing. The final goodbye. A week later, the divorce papers arrived. Ethan held the pen for a long time. His hand trembled. His heart ached. He thought about their memories, their laughter, their dreams, their promises. But he also remembered the pain, the betrayal, the loneliness while being married. He signed, not with anger, not with hatred, but with acceptance. As he sealed the envelope, he whispered one final truth. "I loved you, Mia, but I won't lose myself for you." Epilogue. Months later, Ethan walked through the same park where he once cried for losing her. This time the sky was bright. Children played. Birds sang. Life moved on. So had he. He was healing, slowly, gently, honestly. He sat on a bench watching people walk by, feeling peace he hadn't felt in years. He didn't hate Mia. He didn't hate Liam. He didn't hate love. He just finally understood one thing. Sometimes the bravest act of love is choosing yourself. And Ethan chose himself at last.